Welcome and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gomansing. Two judges took their oath of honor Monday at an investiture ceremony at the VI Superior Court on St. Thomas. Both received praises from the highest levels of authority as they vowed to continue serving through November 19, 2018. News 2's Erica Bivens brings us more from that ceremony.
In a roughly 2-hour ceremony Monday, Judges Kathleen McKay and Deborah Smith-Watlington took their oath of office.
With the right hand.
For the next 5 years, McKay will serve as a judge in the VI Superior Court, and Smith-Watlington will preside as judge over the family court.
Today we add to our role of judges two wise, accomplished, and talented women who bring a wealth of experience, intelligence, and common sense to the bench.
Last year, Governor John P. DeYoung Jr. nominated both individuals, which the 29th legislature approved.
Who are going to do a stellar job on the bench.
Others closer to the judges also shared their sentiments.
Judge McKay and I have had the pleasure and good fortune to practice law together in the same firm for some 10 years and to work together as magistrates in the Superior Court for the past 3.5 years.
Returning here to offer my thoughts and introduce my sister, who now replaces my friend on the bench, who brings me immense pride.
After the presentation of the infamous gown and gavel, the newly sworn-in judges gave their response.
Nevertheless, I pledge to you, to the court, and to the people of this territory that I will do my very best to uphold the law in a fair, reasoned, impartial, and just manner.
I considered myself to be just an ordinary woman or girl, doing ordinary work for ordinary people that I enjoyed tremendously.
For News 2, I'm Erica Bivens.
On Wednesday, St. Croix will host an investiture ceremony beginning at 10 a.m. at the VI Superior Court for Honorable Douglas Brady and Denise Hines Roach. The search is off for missing teen Preshna Bufang. She was returned unharmed to the custody of the Department of Human Services on the evening of Friday, February 8th by VI police. According to department officials, Bufang is a 16-year-old resident of the Queen Louise Home for Children and was reported missing by staff on the evening of Thursday, February 7th, when she did not attend classes after being dropped off at the Good Hope School. Governor John DeYoung Jr. had surgery Saturday. The governor's office released a statement over the weekend advising that the governor would be undergoing a surgical procedure. According to the statement, DeYoung will be working from his house on St. Thomas while he recuperates. He's expected to be out for 2 weeks. Police on St. Croix are investigating a shooting that occurred Monday morning in Estate Williams Delight. According to police, just after 11:30 a.m., they were dispatched to the housing community where they found 17-year-old male minor with at least one gunshot wound to his upper body. Police are investigating the possibility that the gunshot may have been self-inflicted. The victim was treated at the Governor Juan Luis Hospital. The case is under active investigation, and anyone with information is urged to call detectives at 712-6037 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. The United States has teamed up with Caribbean nations to fight gun trafficking in the region. Senator Sammuel Sanes recently learned that the State Department, along with the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Bureau, partnered together to provide support to the Caribbean, but the territory wasn't included. News 2's Erica Parsons spoke with the senator for his reaction.
For some time, Senator Sammuel Sanes and his office has been in touch with U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Ambassador Liliana Ayalde.
It's been a while that we've been in touch with Ambassador Ayalde just to find out information about what's going on in terms of the gun smuggling and crime here in the Caribbean. We wanted to know more about CARICOM, and that's when we found out that the United States Virgin Islands is not part of this organization.
That knowledge prompted the senator to strengthen his ties to Ayalde, who told him about concerns CARICOM members shared during a December conference. Senator Sanes says the fact that the Virgin Islands is a U.S. territory could affect whether or not we're included in CARICOM, but Sanes says, regardless, the ambassador has pledged her support to help us.
She has agreed to keep us in the loop. She has agreed to share information with us, and we are going to proceed to do whatever it takes to battle this excessive crime wave that we have been experiencing for many years here in the Virgin Islands.
The State Department recently partnered with the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Bureau to lend support to CARICOM. It would include providing firearms advisors in the Caribbean, establishing firearms training programs, providing expert legal assistance, and developing an exchange program between law enforcement and the ATF.
You know, the fact is that being part of the United States, being a territory, I think also too we should be afforded the assistance that is being offered to these other Caribbean nations. But nevertheless, we will continue maintaining a relationship with CARICOM, with the ambassador.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
Senator Sanes says in addition to his anti-gang legislation, he has a human trafficking bill he plans to introduce that should assist in slowing guns and crimes. The wholesale price of fuel in the territory has increased by 5 cents per gallon for regular and premium gasoline. The increase comes after Hovenza raised its rack rates on St. Croix, affecting only regular and premium gasoline. The price of diesel fuel did not change. Today's adjustment now brings wholesale price for fuel from Hovenza at $3.28 per gallon for regular gasoline, $3.73 per gallon for premium gasoline, leaving the price of diesel fuel at $3.68 per gallon. The new rates are effective through Sunday. A Virgin Gorda charter boat service was recently cited by the Department of Licensing and Consumer Affairs for operating without a valid license. The Peacemaker Roadmaker of Speedy's Ferry was found picking up passengers in VI waters without the proper licenses. That's why the department is reminding all charter boat owners operating in the VI to make sure you possess a valid business license, or you will be subject to citations and applicable penalties. Business's license should be prominently displayed at all times on the vessel. On Wednesday, Coastal Zone Management will announce its decision on Coral World's application permit for a dolphin habitat. Coral World applied for a permit to construct a 2-acre dolphinarium, which would bring about 7 to 10 bottlenose dolphins to the territory. A CZM hearing was held in December where residents voiced their opinions on the project before the CZM committee. Their decision will be announced at 6 p.m. Wednesday at the King Airport's DPNR second floor conference room. News 2 will keep you updated. The Department of Education's Division of Special Services is looking for volunteers who are interested in becoming surrogate parents for students with disabilities. The department must maintain a pool of trained surrogate parents to carry out duties for children who receive special education as mandated by federal law. Applicants interested must be U.S. citizens over 18 years of age, not employed by the Department of Education, and have no interests that conflict with the interests of the child. For more information on how you can become a surrogate parent, call 718-7997, extension 241. Well, this morning, Pope Benedict XVI announced he is stepping down as Pope effective at the end of the month. A Vatican spokesman says the Pope's resignation decision was taken freely. Even Vatican aides admitted the decision took them by surprise. Susan McGinnis has the details from Washington.
Pope Benedict spoke in Latin to a meeting of Vatican cardinals Monday morning and announced he is resigning his position as the head of the Catholic Church, effective at the end of the month. Benedict says he is too old and too weak to continue on, so he made the decision to step down.
He was elected at a fairly advanced age, and people thought it would be a short papacy.
The Catholic Church will now be without a pope for a period of time until the cardinals can select a new successor. A papal spokesperson says he expects the church to be without a leader for as brief a period as possible. The cardinals expect to hold a conclave to elect a new pope before the end of March. Born Joseph Ratzinger, the German became pope in April 2005 when the cardinals selected him to succeed Pope John Paul II. One of his biggest tasks as Pope has been to oversee the Church's response to the priest sex abuse scandal. He issued a public apology for people being abused at the hands of clergy and said the Church made serious mistakes in responding to the allegations.
I think he's brought a certain stability to the Church in the light of the crisis, of the sexual abuse crisis, which it needed very much.
Benedict becomes the first pope in nearly 600 years to resign from the position. In Washington, Susan McGinnis, CBS News.
And keeping our eye on the economy, stocks are lower. Investors have little economic news to react to today. The market has had a good run so far this year. Earnings season is winding down, but there are still a few big names scheduled to report this week, including Coca-Cola and PepsiCo. And most airports in the Northeast are returning to normal after the weekend snowstorm grounded nearly 6,000 flights. This is the New York Stock Exchange with Scotiabank Stock Market Watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all down. The Dow 21, Nasdaq 1, S&P 0.92. Coming up on News 2, one moment in time. We remember the legacy of Whitney Houston. It's been a year since her death, and the folks who were part of her humble beginnings held a memorial service. We'll be right back. While the Northeast was getting hammered by the winter storm, the weather was truly spectacular for the 11th annual Mardi Gras Parade on St. Croix's North Shore. The parade route and beach were filled with revelers and vendors, like in colorful costumes, masks, and beads. The crowd is smaller than last year, but the passion to have fun and enjoy was stronger than ever. This year's theme was Hooray for Hollywood, complete with pirates and most impressively, the Wizard of Oz. From the Yellow Brick Road to Wicked Witch from the West, the entire movie got a fabulous makeover, Gangnam style.
With the Mardi Gras in Kimbe, we're having fun, immediately fun. I don't know what to say, so much fun we're gonna have today.
It's so much fun. This is my 4th or 5th year. I ride with the Harleys.
Mardi Gras is the best thing all year. This is one of the biggest events. This is my 2nd time doing it. I've been down here on the beach this year, and all the people are fantastic. All the floats are amazing.
The territory celebrated the life and legacy of Mrs. Evelyn Williams as the educator of over 40 years was laid to rest on Monday morning. Mrs. Williams, who was born in 1914, passed away on February 2nd at the age of 98. Nearly a century old, she was known for her passion in education, having served as a teacher and principal until she retired in 1972. In 1974, the Senate passed a bill to name a school in her honor. Congresswoman Christensen stated in a press release that Mrs. Williams was a dear friend of her late grandmother, Elena Christian, and that she will be always remembered for her warmth, humility, and grace. May she rest in peace. In our Black History moment, it's been a year since entertainer Whitney Houston died, and the folks who were part of her humble beginnings at a New Hope Baptist Church held a memorial service as the church choir sang. Photographs of Houston were shown on a large screen. Last year, the church was packed with church members and movie stars, friends, and musicians, while on the outside, the street was lined with people straining for a glimpse of Houston's casket. This year, the church service was markedly low-key. And 4 new wax figures, which honor the performer at memorable points in her career, were unveiled at a special ceremony earlier this month at Madame Tussauds New York in Times Square. Whitney Houston was released in 1985 and became the biggest selling album by an artist with several hit singles. Performances dominated the 55th annual Grammy Awards. Some of the acts topping the charts wowed the crowd, along with One Big Comeback, Mumford & Sons. They took home Album of the Year at the 55th annual Grammy Awards, but it was a night for fun. The trio sang as it rained on stage and won Best New Artist and Song of the Year for We Are Young. Justin Timberlake used the Grammy stage to relaunch his solo career. He premiered new music from his upcoming album and shared the stage with Jay-Z. Country singer Miranda Lambert performed, but was looking forward to seeing someone else on stage. Kelly Clarkson paid tribute to Carole King and to the late Patti Page after winning the award for the Best Pop Vocal Album. The biggest winner of the night was Dan Arbach of the Black Keys. He took home 4 trophies. St. Croix will be front and center tonight during a 2-hour episode of ABC's The Bachelor. Monday's episode of the romance reality series was filmed entirely on St. Croix and features downtown Christiansted, Point Udall, dining nightlife, and Seabourn Airlines. The Department of Tourism worked closely with ABC and The Bachelor's team to set up the 11-day shoot that occurred in October. Tourism officials say the impact to the territory was tremendous because of the national exposure and the jobs and revenue it brought to the VI. Tonight's episode will air locally on Channel 8, ABC at 9. With the anticipated exposure that Synchro is expected to get after The Bachelor airs Monday night, travelers who are looking for a spring Caribbean getaway now have until March 31st to get a steal of a deal, as the Department of Tourism has extended the booking and travel dates for the popular Synchro Fantastic Flight Promotion. Now the flight promotion gives travelers a $300 instant airfare credit on packages of 6 nights at participating hotels, including the last night free and a $20 match play casino certificate. For more information on the flight offer, visit www.usvisitusvi.com. Stick around, your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.